It's section final week in Minnesota High School girls basketball. Tonight from Anoka High School, the Section 5 4A championship game featuring the number 3 seed, the Mounds View Mustangs, and the number 1 seed, the Maple Grove Crimson. From Anoka, John Jacobson along with Patty Sorensen. And Patty, Maple Grove has been knocking on the door in this section the last couple of years. Would like to break through and get their first state tournament appearance in 5 years.
Yes, they have. You know, it's been close, but I think the kids have had a lot of experience now. They return a lot of players, and I think their focus is on take care of everything you need to take care of tonight.
Mounds View comes in at 16-12, and they've had a couple of exciting games in the section tournament, perhaps more exciting than they would have liked to have. Double overtime win over Osseo in the quarterfinals, and then a single overtime win in the semifinals.
Oh yeah, those, you know, they're a scrappy team. They're going to play hard, and I think that's their goal. Let's give everything we got. We're going to play hard every possession, control the things we can control.
Maple Grove 23 wins on the season, another unbeaten season in the Northwest Suburban Conference, and Coach Mark Cook really likes the way his team's playing right now.
Well, I think that's what he said. You've seen them turn, you've seen them gel, work together as a team, look for each other. They're just melding at the right time.
Let's look at our key players, starting with the Mustangs. Maria Stenstrom is the second all-time leading scorer in program history. Really a terrific player that can score in a lot of different ways. You can see her points per game. She'll definitely fill it up here tonight.
Oh, definitely. She's an energetic player to watch. Coach has really just been impressed with how she's continued to develop her game. She's an excellent leader, and the key about being an excellent leader, you're including your teammates too. Very trusted, and she is also trusting of her teammates.
And from Maple Grove, a terrific player, Jordan Odie, who is the all-time leading scorer now in school history. She averages over 21 points per game, heading to Michigan State University in 2 years.
You know, Jordan's so fun to watch. I keep forgetting that she's not a senior yet, and she does everything. I love to watch when she passes the ball too. But you'll see her attack, she'll shoot outside, and she's another player that wants to improve her team.
Mounds View definitely the underdogs. What's the key for the Mustangs to try to pull an upset here tonight?
Well, I think their focus number one is they want to do a good job on the boards. Control the boards, run their tempo, get on movement in the ball, and get the best shots they can get.
Should be a fun one here tonight. The winner goes to state next week at Williams Arena. Mounds View, Maple Grove, Section 5 4A girls basketball, next on CCX. CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. At Anoka High School, the site again for the Section 5 4A championship. Mounds View and Maple Grove ready to tip it off here tonight. How do these teams get to tonight? Well, Maple Grove had a first round bye, but each of these teams then had to win in the semifinals. And for Mounds View, that meant a trip, Patty, to Park Center. Pirates able to lead early, but Mounds View coming back. Tough game. This one goes to overtime. And a big game in this one for Kate Rayburn. It's not really a big score necessarily for them, but a huge game in the win over the Pirates.
Oh, she sure did. She came out only in the first half with 8 points, but she scored 19 in the second half.
Champlin Park scored the first 2 points against Maple Grove, but then they got the next 10, and they were off and running against the Rebels. A big first half, especially for Jordan Odie and Claire Stern, their number 14. Those two combined for 35 first half points, driving basket there for Ava Cossette. Jordan Odie leading the way in scoring as Maple Grove won that one easily, 79-52. And so that brings us to tonight's games. We look at the bracket in 5 4A. As I mentioned, the Crimson with an opening round bye, Champlin Park, Mounds View and Park Center, the opening round winners, and then the semifinals that you just saw the highlights of it. And so these teams have had 3 days of practice this week to get ready for tonight. Let's look at our starting lineup for tonight's game. It's not a very tall Mounds View team, and so Coach Dave Ratland said, we're really all guards. Kate Raber, Maria Stenstrom, we talked about in the pregame, Logan Percalia Ryan, and the coach's daughter, Emma Bratland, also in the starting lineup, senior and one of the captains. Kate Holmquist, guard for Maple Grove, and the wings, Claire Stern, Ava Cossette, Jordan Odie, and Bella Hanna.
We definitely have two teams with a lot of guard players on the floor, so it's going to be fun to watch. I expect it to be a little quicker, but it'll be fun to see what they do in the inside part of their games also.
These teams played last year in the section semifinals, but Coach Bratland pointed out to us there was no shot clock last year, and it's a little different this year, and he doesn't think that's necessarily a bad thing for his team who can shoot. As you see, Coach Bratland now in his 4th year. He's coached for over 30 years, was in the Mounds View boys program for a number of seasons, and a really good coach, and hoping to get Mounds View to the state tournament for the first time since 1999. Mark Cook, 19th season at Maple Grove. Their last state tournament appearances, they had 5 all in school history, 4 under Coach Cook. 2019, their last trip to state, losing to Roseville in the section final in this gym a year ago. And we are ready to go. Maple Grove of the home black, Mounds View in the road white with the green. The opening tap controlled by Maple Grove. Cossette handing it off to Bella Hanna, puts the ball on the floor and then back out to Jordan Odie. Odie trying to turn the corner and gives it back off. Stern, nice entry pass. Bella Hanna off the glass short. Good look at the basket, but didn't get the shot to go. Raber lost the ball, and it's a turnover for Mounds View. Cossette will take it to the rim, off the iron, out of bounds. Last touch by Mounds View.
You know, and that's one of the things we're going to see tonight is, like I said earlier, to see what they'll do inside, because I know they want to limit some of the shots on the outside. They want to pressure the shots. And definitely don't want open threes, so we'll see how it reacts to that.
Cossette to the basket, scores, and there's our first points of the game. Pressure by Maple Grove in the backcourt. Braver will finally cross the 10-second line. Again, draws the double team. Boy, they're really hounding the ball. All knocked out of bounds off of Holmquist.
It's looking like Maple Grove's going to apply a lot of, obviously, pressure as soon as they cross. They're going to try and trap and see if they can get the ball turned over that way when they're pressing.
There's Stenstrom with the ball. Taller Odie out on her. Lily Ryan will put it on the floor and then hand it back to Stenstrom. To the corner to Kirk. Shot clock down to 5. Stenstrom will have to hurry up a shot, puts it up, comes up short on the iron and rebounded by Hanna. Hanna will hand off. Cossette drives off the glass, too strong, and a good rebound by Stern, gathering it in and scores. She is really tough around the glass. She seems to find a lot of loose balls and able to put that one back in.
She did an excellent job of staying with the play on that and just like you said, following the loose ball.
Holmquist defense a little too tight on Stenstrom, who goes to the floor and our first foul of the game. Kirk will inbound here for the Mustangs. Raber picked up her dribble and able to get it back off to Kirk. Raber back to Kirk again, trying to drive. Tough shot, I got it off the glass and in. First points of the game tonight for the Mustangs. Odie off to the wing. Hanna lost it. It was deflected. Down, gets it to the corner. Spins out on the three-point shot for Holmquist, out of bounds. Off of Cossette, Mounds View basketball.
Both coaches have emphasized we have got to control the boards, and obviously all coaches think that way. And it's good, you know, Maple Grove looks a little bigger than Mounds View right now in size-wise, but overall they seem to match up fairly decent.
Stenstrom to the front court baseline drive, up and in, and we're tied up. Lily Ryan, the junior, one of two juniors in the starting 5, ties it at 4. Odie, short turnaround off the side of the lane, not good. And the rebound pulled down by Raber. Front court, It's Bratland. Outside shot here, around and in. Mounds View in front. Raber with the basket. 6 in a row here for Mounds View. Cossette for 3. Answers, and she's got 5. Maple Grove back in front.
That was one of Coach Bratland's emphasis too tonight, was to try and don't allow the open three-point shot. With the ball movement Maple Grove had, created a nice shot for her.
A lot of traffic on the ball and tied up. Alternate possession will keep it with Mounds View. The last couple of baskets. A little runner up and in for Raber. We saw the highlights of her semifinal and what a big game she had against Park Center, and then Cossette answering with a three-pointer. Stenstrom handing off. Raber back to Stenstrom, left corner. It's a tough matchup for her against the much taller Odie, and it's turned over, and Odie has it for the Crimson in the front court. Stern, missed the pass for either Odie or Hannah, and neither one sailed past both of them and out of bounds. First substitution of the night. Ivy Nystrom will check into the game, and Coach Bratland talked about what good defense Ivy Nystrom plays, and that's her key role out on the floor.
She's his defensive specialist. You know, he's got a few girls, he said, that were soccer players, and you got to learn how to play defense there, and it transfers over to her here.
Nice tough move by Stenstrom. She's on the board. 4 different Mounds View players have scored. They're back in front by 1. Odie, side of the lane, turns off the glass too strong. Rebounded by Nystrom. Trying to slice ahead, knocked away from her. Nystrom got it back. Goes baseline, off to Kirk. She'll drive to the basket, around Odie, and rebounded by Stern off the miss. Claire Stern ahead of the front court. Bella Hanna, nice dish to the corner. 3 comes off and missed on by Cossette, and then a backcourt foul on Stern. The last basket, and up and in for 2 for Stenstrom.
You know, that's one of the things that impressed me when I was watching Mounds View when they played against Park Center. It's just the girls work very hard. They work together. They'll attack. They'll shoot outside, and they're looking pretty comfortable attacking the basket right now.
Yeah, good start for them, right? You didn't want to fall behind early or fall behind big, and it's the underseed. You hang with them. Stenstrom. Take it at Odie again, missed the shot, and rebounded by Cossette, and then stolen back by Stenstrom. Loose ball, picked up by Raber. She's trying to attack on Cossette and got it blocked out of bounds. Early on, they're letting a little contact go, which I like. That's fine. If you're going to call it that way the whole time, a little contact there. Could have been a foul, but I think a good no call, too. Get it in, beating the 5 count. Stenstrom spin move on the baseline, runs in, and didn't get the shot off. That was well defended by Lexi Hanna. Able to cut off Stenstrom from getting a good shot away. Stern, baseline, missed on the shot. Comes up short and rebounded by Ryan. Raber holds it, and then back off under the wing to Ryan. Cossette going for the steal, loose ball. Knocked away from Stern, out of bounds. Last touch by Nystrom. So the Crimson defense forcing some pressure. And now Addie Hanna, the third of the Hanna sisters, is into the lineup for the Crimson.
That's one of the things Coach Cook was talking about. He really feels his team is starting to play some of their best defense this year. And of course, what time to start doing it, right? Right now at the playoff time and getting ready for their hope is a state tournament.
Oh, that was a great play. Adding Hanna to the Stern and then back to Hanna. And the junior's got her first bucket. Raber off the glass, attacking and scoring. Mounds View back in front. Addie Hanna. 5-0, and then off her sister Lexi's hands and out. Turnover, Maple Grove. Back in for Mounds View, Stenstrom, and also Kata Scott, senior, number 14 in for the first time.
Yeah, Coach was saying he's happy to have Kata back. She'd been out for a while with an illness, and I think she had mono, so he said it's nice to have her back, add a little more depth to the to their team.
Stenstrom, Raber trying to double team, but able to get it back. Into the front court, tie up on Anna Popard, but able to get rid of it. Comes back to Popard. Hands off. There's Raber attacking, glass and good. 6 points for Kate Raber. 3-point Mounds View lead. Addie Hanna. Couple dribbles, trying to get it back to Stern. Got deflected. Turnover, Maple Grove. Here comes Raber. Scott lost it. Loose ball. Stenstrom trying to pick it up. Finally gathered in by Lexi Hanna. Odie looked at the basket for a shot. Hangs on. Thought she got fouled there, and no call. Was guarded by Nystrom. Now it's Stern out on the wing. Stern, the basket, brought it up too high, and that's a turnover. Maple Grove a little out of sync offensively, Patty, here in the first 8 minutes.
You know, I think so, and I think what's happening is both teams are applying so much pressure right now that they're having a hard time getting into some of the rhythm they'd like to get into.
And Coach Cook sees that too, and he calls a timeout.
You know, it's fun watching. Mounds View doesn't seem, I mean, you can see the pressure bothering them a little bit up here, but it's not getting them to shy away from attacking the bucket.
Right.
And it's been very successful for them to go that way.
Yeah, getting most of their baskets that way, exactly.
Well, I was thinking, you know, Kate Raber last game scored 8 in the first half, 19 in the second. Well, when they had Stenstrom, they kind of reversed. Stenstrom was scored more in the first half and a little less in the second, but the two of them combined for 50 of their team's points in their last game. So getting them cooking and then bring in some of their other teammates.
Yeah, they've got no fear tonight, do they? I mean, they look relaxed. Yes, some turnovers, but they're playing well here. It's still early, though. Not quite even 8 minutes into the game. 12-9, Mustangs lead, the number 3 seed. Looking for their first state tournament appearance in 25 years. Raber's going to attack again. Now she'll pull it out. Stenstrom will start a drive. A little turn shot over Addie Hanna. Not good. And out of bounds to get a push and a foul on Nystrom, knocking down Lexi Hanna. First foul on Nystrom, first team foul on Mounds View. Maple Grove with 2 so far. Odie will hand off, then gets the pass back from Holmquist. And trying to go to the basket with Stern, and she gets fouled by Popard. Coach said, that's a shooting foul?
Well, yeah.
I didn't know that she had released the ball or gone into a shooting motion, but they award her the free throws here. First one up and around and good.
It almost looked like she was almost going to lose the ball when and then the foul came in, but.
Second free throw up and in. Stern has 4 points. Maple Grove back to within 1. Raber to the corner. Baseline drive. And the shot gets blocked. Stern getting a piece of that, blocking Scott. Back comes Maple Grove. Holmquist all the way to the basket. Came up short on the shot. Rebounded by Nystrom. Hands it off to Stenstrom. Raber drives. Comes up short on her shot. Rebounded by Lexi Hanna. Hands it off to Odie. Odie spins, turns, too strong, loose ball, the sideline out of bounds off Maple Grove.
You know, you're seeing Mounds View being very confident attacking down there, and every time they got a player come, even if they see the opening in the beginning, you've got two Maple Grove kids coming at them right away. And if they had another player on the backside, it might be a little easier dump and possible score for Mounds View.
Another loose ball and a turnover, and Maple Grove, jump ball, they'll get the possession here. Cossette had control of the basketball. Kyle Overski in at that last whistle for Maple Grove.
You're definitely seeing two teams that are not afraid to get on the floor and get after that ball. You can see how both teams are battling and are in this game tonight.
Odie to the basket, up, too strong, ball tipped, and get a foul this time on Cossette. Ranger reaching, get a piece of that ball with the rebound, and picks up her first. Lee Ryan back into the lineup for Mounds View, number 21. Stenstrom headed to Winona State next year, set a single-game school record for points in a game in February, 44 points. Odie with the block on her. Overski getting it to Holmquist. Kate Holmquist will drive, runner up and in. Tough shot, but a good one for the sophomore. Has got her first basket tonight.
That was a very pretty shot by Kate.
Raber on the handoff, almost lost there by Bratland, but hung on to it. Loose ball, Maple Grove able to turn Mounds View over again. Here's Odie. She'll put up a three and get called. They'll get a foul away from the ball before the shot went up.
Yeah, you see, Odie played that defensively perfect to be able to block it.
The foul is on Overski in the paint. Neglects the three-pointer for Odie, who's not scored yet in the first almost 10 minutes of the game. Ryan able to hand it off. Stenstrom and to Raber. Bratland knocked away, and a steal by Cossette. Maple Grove back in front. We're up one, now up three. Now we get a foul on Mounds View away from the ball. This will be on Bratland.
You know, the defense, the pressure defense that Maple Grove's playing right now is causing some of those turnovers against Mounds View, and then able to continue down and finish with that shot. And that's her hard work on defense created her offense.
And Mounds View use their first timeout. So 15-12, Crimson. 6-0 scoring run now for Maple Grove. Maple Grove ranked in the top 5 in the latest Class 4A rankings. Should they win tonight, Patty, almost certainly would be one of the top 5 seeds in the tournament. Again, they only seed 1 through 5. That may change in the future, but they would definitely, I would think, be a 4. Maybe it all depends on how other section tournaments go as well, but should definitely be in one of the seeded positions.
Oh, I agree. I definitely up in those top 5, and it's going to be interesting to see how some of those other sections finish out. And I know when we talked last time, I mean, we could literally end up with the top 5 seeds in the state tournament.
So for Mounds View, what do they need to do better right now? I mean, it's some offensive possessions are coming up empty. Either, saw the block shot a couple possessions ago, some turnovers. Maple Grove certainly able to kind of hold them down offensively the last several possessions here.
I'd like to see a lot more ball movement. I mean, they are attacking, which is good, but I'd like to be able to see they're collapsing on a kick and a little better control of the ball on the top.
Overski will hand off to Bella Hanna. In the lineup again, hands off to Holmquist. Odie takes it to the basket, and there's the first points of the night for the junior. Averaging 21 a game. School's all-time leading scorer puts that one in. Five-point lead for Maple Grove, their biggest tonight. Almost a turnover again. Instead, we're going to get a foul whistled defensively there on Cossette. Well, Cossette, that will be her second. And she's going to come out. Stern back in for Maple Grove along with Addie Hanna. Overski and Cossette come out. Stenstrom on the handoff to Raber. Raber into the hands of Bratland. A little pressure on her, and then back to Stenstrom. Shot clock down to 4, way off on the three-point shot. Loose ball chased down by Stern. North Dakota State signee hands it off. Back into Odie's hands. She'll drive and got fouled by Raber. First on Raber, fourth Mustangs team foul.
Well, and that's something that also on defensively for them, they've got to keep moving their feet, reduce fouls, but trying to avoid giving them open shots right now for Maple Grove. And Maple Grove's doing a great job with ball movement, attacking inside, kicking it outside.
Nystrom back into the lineup for Mounds View. There's 6.5 minutes to go in the half. Odie to the corner, three-point shot from Holmquist, in and out. Nice rebound by Addie Hanna. Crimson keep possession. Odie for three, and that's in.
You know, Odie is so fun to watch, and I think she's a very unselfish player because there's a few times that she's driven in there that I thought she could maybe have popped that shot, and she's found an open teammate, and she likes to pass the ball too, and that's fun to see when you have a leader like that.
Nearly a 43% shooter from the three-point line. And she has volume, too. It's not like she's putting up just a couple of game, almost a turnover. Instead, it's going to be a foul whistled here on Maple Grove as Addie Hanna was headed the other way. Look at the Odie bucket a minute ago. It was a great shot.
Definitely not someone you want to give a lot of room to see because even with some coverage, she can shoot very well, but you don't want to get her too many wide open shots.
Last foul on the Crimson was their 16th foul, so Mounds View will be in the bonus the rest of the way, and there we go. Stenstrom is fouled, and she'll go to the line.
And that's where Maple Grove's going to have to be real careful right now. They're playing a very good aggressive defense, but they're picking up some fouls that I'm sure coach isn't wanting them to pick up right now. And you know, move your feet a little more. Don't be so quick to try and make the steal. Just play good, solid defense, and we'll get the steal or the turnover.
First free throw is off the mark. Fans felt like they helped anyway.
Yeah.
A little yell, and it's back over to the Crimson. Odie, side of the lane, up and in, and now Jordan Odie finding her shot. 7 in a row for her, and Maple Grove with the last 13 points in the game, lead by 10.
Yeah, she started out a little quiet, and that's one kid when she gets warmed up. That's kind of dangerous for the other team.
Ryan on the baseline is to hand it off. Stenstrom up over Odie, back iron not good. Now Hanna couldn't keep it in bounds off of Addie Hanna. Stay with Mounds View, 20 on the shot clock.
And that could be an advantage for Mounds View. You know, they're driving and the height's getting them. So if they can stop and pop one instead of going all the way, just give them a little more room to make a good shot.
Stenstrom, shot not good, and rebounded by Addie Hanna. Corner three ball on the way. Comes up short for Lexi Hanna, but rebounded by Odie. In the paint, this one comes up short. Great rebound. Handoff, Stern to the basket, couldn't get it to go. It was a terrific board there by Lexi Handoff and getting it to Stern, but Claire unable to finish. So back over to the Mustangs, trying to end this long scoring drought. The basket, and that comes up short on the shot by Logan Kirk. Addie Hanna back to the front court for the Crimson. A crossover dribble, back off. Bella Hanna attacks, around and out. Maple Grove did everything right those last 2 possessions except get the ball to drop on the hoop, right?
Exactly.
Stenstrom, a little scoop shot. That won't go, but she has not been able to hit much tonight. They need her to score a lot. She has just 2 points.
And she is working so hard on both ends of the floor, too.
Lexi Hanna. Addie down low. Stern's open. Another timeout for Mounds View.
And there's where you really got to credit Maple Grove players. They know where all their players are. If one's cutting, somebody's getting in the open to kick back out or getting onto the weak side for the dish that way. They look for each other, and they just click off each other. Yep, there's, you know, and as you're cutting, you're open, you're seeing your teammates, and you get a nice bucket like that.
You know, we talked about Jordan Odie and what a terrific player she was last month. Passed Jordan Lamker as the all-time leading scorer, and Jordan, who's now a junior at St. Thomas, was on hand, presented Jordan Odie with the basketball. What a terrific moment that was, and congratulations. Jordan Lamker was a terrific player for Maple Grove, and now having a good career at St. Thomas. Happy to be on hand for that moment.
You know, I always think that's special when the person whose record you broke or the person that scored 1,000 points before you comes back. I remember doing that with one of our kids, and they were just shocked to keep receiving the ball for her 1,000 point that the last 1,000 point scorer handed. It means a lot to the kids to have those kids come back.
I remember when Mark Cook told me Jordan Odie, she might end up being our best player ever. And in my head, I'm thinking, better than Jordan Lamker, because Jordan had just completed such a great career, and Jordan Odie is a different kind of ball player, but terrific player, can shoot from the outside, and it's starting to heat up here. And her team up by 12 points now, and kind of a dangerous point in the game, I feel like, right now for Dave Bratland's team. I mean, you're down 12. You don't want to get any worse going into halftime, right? You got to make a push here before halftime, get it under 10 at minimum.
Well, and this is where I think ball movement is crucial in getting your best shot, not forcing it up over a bunch of people. Look, because if they move the ball, they can shoot.
Ryan off to Kirk. 3-point shot, and that one didn't drop for Anna Popard.
And that time they were more patient. They did move the ball and got the shot. Now if they can just get those to drop for them.
Odie, side of the lane. Bella Hanna drew a double team and also drew a foul.
Maple Grove just has so many different weapons that can contribute both offensively and defensively. They are very deep.
Foul on Mounds View is on Stenstrom, her first. Only the 5th team foul on the Mustangs. Great inbound pass. Lexi Hanna able to find Claire Stern, and Stern now has 8 points. Raber hands it off for Kirk. Back to Raber. Baseline drive and cut off there is Popard. Well, team defense has been terrific for Maple Grove here tonight.
Oh, they're looking anytime you get an over the corner or a sideline, they're looking to double.
And Stern gets the block on the 3-point shot. Odie stops for 3, short, rebounded by Raber. Pushing it ahead for the Mustangs, out of bounds off of Odie.
You know, and there was one of those deflects. I mean, she missed her shot, but she's right in defense right away. And I've always said, you get a deflect that's just as good as anything else. Disrupt their offense.
26-12, Maple Grove, 2:20 to play in the first half. Stenstrom. Start a drive on the floor, getting back up. And Ryan back off. Raber to the basket, up not good. Rebounded by Stern.
They're getting some good shots up there. They're just not getting them to drop, and that's tough. It's like you're working hard, and it's like it feels like there's a lid on your bucket.
Stern off to Lexi Hanna. She'll take it to the basket. Scored. First basket tonight from Lexi Hanna.
again, you got to credit Maple Grove's defense. It's causing Mounds View to rush some things, play a little out of what I think their game plan was.
Collision on the board. Hustle and off of Rayburn out of bounds. Two Mounds View players kind of collided that. They dive for the loose ball and back to the Crimson again. They'll get it again. Addie Hanna knew who was off. Now it's Bella Hanna. Mid-range jumper for her, not good. And a rebound taken down by Popard. Stenstrom for three, there we go. Stenstrom needs to get that going. First three-pointer made by Mounds View, and that ends a long scoring run for Maple Grove. They had scored 19 straight points. Odie to the corner. Stern will drive and score. Out of 40 seconds to play in the half. Stenstrom backing down Odie, then gets it back off the pass from Popard, and now into Ryan's hands. 15 on the shot clock. Stern comes over, trying to force the turnover. Ryan for three, not good, and rebounded by Addie Hanna. Shot clock is off, 20 seconds to play in the half. Odie out near the half-court line with under 10. Down to 5 seconds. Odie picks it up. Coming around, Stern for three, not good at the buzzer. And it's the end of the first half. But a strong finish for Maple Grove. Patty Sorensen, after a slow start for them, they finish on a 21-3 scoring run, and they're up by 15.
Well, I think they're getting more comfortable. They, like I said, they're deep, and their defense is so aggressive. And the ball movement they have on offense, I mean, they're going to attack if they're covered. They've got a person to kick out to. They've got multiple people that can score. They can score in many ways. And I think their defense is actually what is totally disrupting Mounds View right now.
Winner goes to state, number 1 seed Maple Grove. Up big, third seed the Mustangs. 30-15 our score. More basketball in the Section 5 AA Championship at Anoka High School on CCX after this. CCX Media, your source for great local programming, is available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Our free app allows you to stream all 3 of our channels live. You also have access to a large on-demand library, including full sporting events and daily newscasts. To find us, go to the store, search CCX, and download our free app. Then sit back and enjoy all of your favorite local content. The CCX Media app, available on Amazon Fire TV, Apple TV, and Roku. Halftime of the Section 5 4A championship game in girls basketball. Maple Grove leading Mounds View 30-15. John Jacobson and Patty Sorensen at Anoka High School. So we've got highlights from the first 18 minutes of play tonight. Ava Cossette for Maple Grove, the senior guard, gets her team on the board first. Nice drive to the basket. She had a good first half before getting into foul trouble. And Mounds View countering and hanging right in early. The basket made there by Logan Kirk for only 2 of the night. Cossette hits from the outside here, but Maple Grove in front, but Mounds View will stay with it. They went into the lead. The basket there by Bria Stenstrom, and then it's Raber with 2. It was 12-9 Mounds View, but Maple Grove able to turn it around. Some good defense. The block there by Jordan Odie. And at the other end, Odie heating up from the outside. Hits one of her 3 baskets, or only 3 of the half. And then a great look here. Addie Hanna down to Claire Stern, who had 10 points in the first half. And you look up, and all of a sudden Maple Grove is up by 15 points as you look at the leading score. Raber with 6, Stenstrom 5. Kirk and Ryan 2 each. That's all 15 points right there for Mounds View on the left side of the ledger. Stern with 10 to lead Maple Grove. Cossette 7, and Odie with 7.
You know, it's they started out right there and they were good with it, and then Maple Grove's defense stepped up. They were able to block a few shots that Mounds View were attacking with, and you could see the tide little change with Maple Grove being more confident in their defense and just flying, and that's what's caused the difference right now. Their defense has led to some good things for them.
1.5 to go to the state tournament. More basketball from Anoka after this. The sights of the first half here at Anoka High Schools. We're underway in the second half. And it's a good way for Mounds View to start. They get into the hands of their leading scorer, and Bria Stenstrom hits. And it's 30-17.
You know, they did that with patience and ball movement. Now they've got to figure out how to stop this on this end to help them get back into the game.
Terrific spin move by Claire Stern. Bella Hanna the assist. Stenstrom back the other way. Dribbled into the corner and hands it back off. Logan Kirk back to Stenstrom. Rattle into the corner and off the hands of Ryan and out of bounds. Turnover Mounds View, 32-17. Just underway here in the second half. Special thanks to the Maple Grove Girls Basketball Booster Club for paying for the live fee for tonight's game. The sections impose live streaming fees to entities such as ours, and we appreciate their help tonight. And Matt Odie, Brandon Hanna, and all those on the Booster Club board for girls basketball for helping us out tonight. Really appreciate it. And the Booster Clubs do so much. I've been on a Booster Club board before, and it's so much behind the scenes work that is needed for high school teams in any sport. Oh,
and they work so tirelessly, and it's great when you can have a booster club that's going to work hard for you like that and supply the things for the kids that are tough to get. Make good experiences for them.
Holmquist getting the block on Kirk. Out of bounds, still Mounds View basketball. Mounds is going to need a scoring run. They need some shutdowns on the defensive end, and they're going to need some baskets to drop here, too. I mean, it's as good as Maple Grove's defense was in the first half. Mounds just wasn't getting a lot of their shots to go in either. Shot clock running down. Raber. And a partial block on the shot by Ryan. And the follow-up by Stenstrom, tying up Odie. Jump ball, Maple Grove basketball.
You know, and you got to give Mounds View credit. They did a good job of not getting sucked into the countdown by the opposing team's fans. Just take their time on the shot clock.
Holmquist will inbound for Maple Grove. Odie to the front court. Nice dish off. Claire Stern for three. Rattles out. Pulled down by Kirk.
So many of those girls from Maple Grove are such weapons because they can attack and score, and you think they're going to attack, and then they see their open teammate and they kick it out. Nice score there.
And a good tack there by Stenstrom. She's got all four of her team's points here in the second half. Odie back out. Cossette looked at the basket. Now will drive it, picks it up. Turnaround shot in the lane, not good. Chased down by Stern. Bella Hanna whips it back out to Cossette. She'll shoot that ball and hit.
Pretty shot.
She's in double figures now with 10 points. Grove by 16. Handoff. Raber to the basket, attacking on Cossette. Not good. Rebounded by Bella Hanna.
Almost would have liked to seen Raber once she got into the lane there. She had plenty of time just to pop the shot versus going against the taller ones there. Mix it up a little bit. Get a little jump shot, then attack the bucket again for a layup.
Stern to Odie. Odie will drive it to the basket. Off the glass and in.
Such a smooth player. She's so fun to watch.
Here's Raber back out Stenstrom. Thought about the three, puts it on the floor. All around off Odie and the follow-up up and in. So Stenstrom just 5'6", but able to not only attack the basket, but then get an offensive rebound and puts it back. Now Kate Holmquist. Attacks, picks up her dribble, side of the lane, and then back out to Cossette. Look down low for Stern, tries to attack and got fouled. I think Mounds View fans and Coach Brown are like, wow, that was a bailout call on that one. Fouls on Stenstrom, her second. Nystrom in for the first time in the second half here for Mounds View. Odie in the corner, she'll fire it up. Back iron not good, rebounded by Raber. Stenstrom attacking again. Oh, got the player to go to the floor and then puts it up and in. Stenstrom had just 5 points in the first half, has all 8 Mounds View points in the second half. But they still trail by 14 here. Under 14 minutes to play in the game. Handoff, Stern to the basket, too strong. Rebound by Nystrom. Kirk, pass off onto the wing, and the pass by Ryan gets deflected by Stern out of bounds.
Oh, you know, Stenstrom is just a competitor. I mean, she's fearless. The bigger people, more aggressive, but she's going to go and she's going to compete. What a joy to have someone like that on your team that works that hard.
Bella Hanna and Cossette out. Addie Hanna and Lexi Hanna in for Maple Grove. Stenstrom trying to take it again, and Odie, what did I do? His whistle for a foul, but only her first tonight.
You know, when talking to Coach Bratland, he really emphasized how Bria has really worked this year and expanded her game and just the trust of her game and getting everybody involved and just how she's improved herself in many ways.
Only the second free throw attempt tonight for Mounds View in the first make. Not had a lot of foul shots total. Claire Stern had the only 2 in the game for Maple Grove. We get a timeout on the floor here with 13:32 to go, 37-24.
I think Coach Cook is talking to his players about some of their offensive rotation and just keep moving the ball and going for your shots, but defensively, offensively, they seem to be clicking fine. And, you know, when Mounds View came out this second half, they just did such a good job, a couple possessions of just moving the ball and getting some good looks, of different looks than what we saw in the first half from them. And I think they just got to keep working that.
Patty, you coached in this gym several times for Park Center back in the day. We did a lot of those games and going against De La Salle almost every year, right?
Yeah, quite a few of the years. Quite a few of my last years at Park Center, we ended up going up against De La Salle, and of course played Anoka many times here and other teams, and I loved it in the days when we'd play. You'd have 2 section finals in the gym, one early, one late. That was just what an atmosphere that created. This place was packed.
Good gym for section basketball. I will say the lighting has improved over the years. It should be such a dark gym, and they fixed that.
I think that was one of my main complaints when we used to have to play here, because it was so dark, and it was like just the adjustment. And yeah, they've fixed the lighting, and I think that's a huge plus to playing these games here now too.
One more free throw coming here for Stenstrom out of the timeout. Trying to get it back to a dozen-point deficit for the Mustangs. Second one is good.
And now what the Mustangs got to focus on, we got to get stops. Okay, we didn't want to let them penetrate, and we don't want to give them open shots, but it's just communication on D and stepping up again.
Addie Hanna in the corner off to Odie. Puts it on the floor. Odie with that long reach, able to get it over the defender, off the glass, and draw the foul. You just can't stop that shot, right?
It's hard to stop Jordan on any of her shots. She just has such focus and touch and control. There she finishes, and then unfortunately the body just didn't get her body in position and drew the foul.
Odie, a 74% free throw shooter, comes up short on that one and rebounded by Stenstrom. Now 13 minutes to go in the second half. Mounds View had a lead at 12-9. That was their last lead. Then Maple Grove closed the first half very strong. Oh, to the moves by Stenstrom. Hits the basket and draws the foul. And the left, they're going to go right back to the left, score it and one. How about that? Like, burp, and up and in.
Oh, you know, just watching how she doesn't give up on a play. She just will continue and work to work.
All 13 second half points for Mounds View belong to Bria Stenstrom. There's 18 in the game. Lead is down to 11. Odie spinning short on the shot. Long rebound. This ball tipped out to Raber. Back to Stenstrom. Hands off to Kirk. Kirk backing down. Hannah gets the shot up, not good, and tried to go over the top to tip the ball, and instead commits the foul. Good defense there, holding her position, was Addie Hannah. Walks out the shooter, trying to get the rebound, and second foul on Kirk.
I'm sorry, I interrupted you. That's something that sometimes is a frustration one. Your shot didn't go, and it's coming back, and you end up going trying to tip it, but you're actually going over and following her.
Kendra Overski in for Maple Grove, first time here in the second half. (39-28), Crimson to the basket, short is Cossette, loose ball, back out to Odie. Side of the lane, Odie back out, deep three for Cossette, not good. Rebound underneath, Lexi Hannah will go to the line for two.
You saw Jordan posting up that time before there, paying attention to a mismatch in size when somebody switches or who's guarding you, and try and post up. And
one more free throw coming for Hannah. Got them both.
Gotta like having the, you got all those Hannahs on the team. That's kind of nice.
Junior sisters will all be back next year. Should be a terrific team next year too, right? We use Cossette and Stern, two very valuable members, but bring back a lot of pieces. Odie, the rebounds, the missed three.
And what a fun experience for the three sisters to be able to play together. I mean, I noticed when my girls, there was such an age difference. They only got on the floor in a high school game maybe once together, and it was, I mean, and other players, I always tried to match them when their sister would come, get them on the floor together. You got to have that lasting memory.
Odie takes it to the basket and scores. Yeah, we know she can shoot from the outside, but that's a big part of her game too. Lead back up to 15. That was the margin at halftime. Kirk with it, hands off, Stenstrom. Is she going to go with it to the basket? Sure, why not? And hits again. 6 baskets and 3 free throws for the senior here in the second half. There's Cossette. Odie puts it on the deck. Good pass out. Addie Hannah for 3. Could have put up that shot, and instead unselfish and kicks it out for the 3. You know, when I looked at Maple Grove statistics, one thing that jumped out at me, all 5 of their starters average between 2 and 3 assists per game. So all can distribute, and all do distribute on a regular basis. Foul on Cossette here on the drive to the hoop by Raber.
You know, I noticed the same thing, and that's what a fun team to coach that's that unselfish, really. You know, understanding that if we all work together, great things can happen for our team, and they do. They have many players that can score.
Free throw up and in, the first try tonight from the line for Raber. Holmquist and Belahana in for Maple Grove at the whistle. Second one good. Under 10 minutes to go now in the section championship. Jordan Obi all the way to the basket and scores 8 second half points, 15 in all.
Jordan just saw that she had a step on her defender and a wide open lane.
Stenstrom hands it off. Here's Ryan. Oh, and a block by Holmquist. Loose ball secured by Belahana. Holmquist off to Overski. Loose ball tie up between Overski and Keita Scott. We'll go over to Mounds View. Jocelyn Setley, number 11, into the game for the first time tonight for Mounds View. And Popard also back in. Stenstrom will hand it off, and it'll be Raber to bring it up. Mounds View junior. Oh, tough shot over Odie, not good, and rebounded by Holmquist. Looks up court, Holmquist backs it out now. Overski can hit from the outside, short on that one though, and rebounded by Popard. Stenstrom to the basket, around and not good. Belahana got it back, but it right to Stenstrom, who's in the right spot there and puts it in. Curling around, Cossette open for a three and drains it. Her third three of the game, she has 13 points. Lead is 17 for Maple Grove. Oh, and a steal briefly into the hands of Cossette and then lost it. Stenstrom for three and knocks it down. 20 second half points for Stenstrom.
She's putting her team on her back right now. Just trying to keep them in the game and maybe create some more offense for them.
Holmquist missed on the shot ball out of bounds off of Mounds View. Coach Bratland not thrilled with that call, thought it was clearly off Maple Grove. Inbound here by Cossette. Nice inbound to Stern, up and in. Inbound play worked a couple of times tonight for the Crimson. Stenstrom up, not good. Rebounded by Holmquist. Stenstrom trying to get to the loose ball. Stern got it back. Then Adihana, ball all over the place. Open Cossette for three and buries it. It's a 19-point Maple Grove lead.
Maple Grove just has so many weapons, so many shooters. I mean, you can't just really focus on one. And
a whistle and a foul there. Defending the ball, and if that's on Cossette, that's her fourth, and it is, and she'll come out. What a game Cossette has had here shooting the basketball. Come out, like I said, with her fourth. Player missed almost all of last season with an injury, back here as a senior and a huge contributor to this team. Third leading scorer behind Odie and Stern. Popard, and we get a blocking foul whistled on Lexi Hanna. Substitution for Mounds View. Ratland back in. And we get a timeout here for the Mustangs. The last time Maple Grove was in the state tournament, I mentioned, was 5 years ago. They were in Section 8. They played in that section for several years. Played St. Michael Albertville, who was often a section opponent for them, but Maple Grove able to prevail that night and win and get to the state tournament. And it was a really good team. Abby Schulte was a big part of that team, and they had a lot of players that could contribute. Jordan Lampker there for the basket, and they went on to the state tournament, lost to Centennial at the state tournament, a conference opponent. 7:04 to go, and they can do it again.
Exactly. You know, you look at that, and you look where these teams come from, and you talked about Centennial, that they lost them in the state. Northwest Suburban Conference has had some very talented teams and some tough programs.
Drive on the baseline, kick to the corner, and then a layup up and in for Rayber.
I think we needed to see a little more of those kind of things in the first half from Mounds View. I mean, they attacked and attacked, but now they're attacking, but then getting the ball to somebody else, and I think that's very crucial.
Holmquist, Stern, nice turn to the basket, scores and foul. I mean, she is really tough to stop when she gets the ball down low.
She's just fun
really
to watch
footwork
in there, isn't she? She just, it's like, get the ball inside and you've got it made.
And obviously has the size advantage too against this team. Free throw off the mark. 6.5 minutes to play. Rayber off onto Nystrom. Stenstrom attacking, gets blocked by Odie. A couple blocks on Stenstrom tonight. Odie back out. Holmquist. Another player that can shoot the three. They've had several players knock down threes in this game. Holmquist, that's her first three-pointer tonight. And the lead is 22 with 6 minutes to go. Ratland handing it off. Rayber on the pass and goes to the basket and got fouled by Addie Hanna. And 2 free throws coming for Rayber, who knocked down 2 earlier in the half.
You know, I'm trying to figure out what I like that Mounds View is not afraid to attack and will go at it, but like I said before, I'd like to see them have some outlets there, because sometimes they're taking on 3 people. And like you said, there's a size disadvantage, and they've been blocked several times.
Rayber makes both free throws, dozen points for her in the game. Holmquist off to Addie Hanna in the corner and back out. Jordan Odie attacking, spins, short jumper around and in. She's got 10 second half points and now 17 in the game for the junior. Rayber to the basket, offensive foul. Good block and holding her position was Lexi Hanna.
Hanna did a great job of stepping in here on this as she's coming around. She's there. She was there actually for a while, and unfortunately Raybar just took it right at her. Holmquist breaks the pressure herself into the front court. Has options, goes to Odie, 3 ball on the way and in. And the offense, which for a while was a little stagnant in the first half, is really clicking here in the second half with the Crimson, a team that averages about 75 a game. just the way they move the ball and they move themselves away from the ball, how those move that don't have the ball, how they move with the ball. And
Lexi Hanna rebounding the Mounds View miss. Odie off to Holmquist. She'll put the little runner up, not good. Ball tapped out, a nice tap out there. And now Odie will put up another three, too strong, but the offensive rebound, follow up short. Stern gets her own rebound. She'll get another one, and then it's in.
You have to give Stern a hard time when she's padding those rebound stats right there, right?
Right. Couple extra offensive boards. Stern now with 18 points. The lead has grown to 27. Raber, tough shot, out of bounds. Maple Grove basketball, and it just kind of unraveled here for Mounds View, and look at the work Claire Stern does around the basket. That's on third time's a charm.
Well, and what I liked about what she was doing there, a lot of times you'll see some players that are just taller and they don't even jump for the ball, and she's getting up. She's not just standing flat-footed for it.
Driving, Addie Hanna to Odie. Out of Stern. Holmquist will put up a three. Oh my goodness. Everything is going in.
They're feeling the threes now.
Under 4 minutes to go. It's a 30-point Maple Grove lead. Ball knocked away. Fast break. Claire Stern. And two more. Stenstrom off to the corner to Kirk. Stenstrom somehow got around Odie and puts it up and in.
Nice job.
She's done everything she could tonight, but especially on the defensive end, it's just been a tough matchup for Maple Grove, or for Mounds View against this Maple Grove team. And then when your opponent's hitting about every three, it seems like it's makes the comeback impossible.
You know, you're playing hard defense and everything, and the way they move the ball, Maple Grove moves the ball, and like I said, moves without it. They're getting shots, and they're all dropping right now.
Some substitutions in. There's M. Dyke in for Maple Grove. Overski back in. Stenstrom to the free throw line. 1-1, comes up short. And the rebound by M. Dyke into the front court. Comes Odie. Odie hands it off. That's Cossette. And Dyke, nice pass. Odie turn around and two more. 75-43. Steal, deflection rather by Stern. Couldn't quite come up with the ball cleanly.
Totally anticipated that pass, and seriously, was just a little short of a step and she'd have had it.
Nora Schmidt, number 25, in for Mounds View. The Grove's going to go to their bench here. Final 2.5 minutes to go. Three-pointer, too strong, rebounded by Stern. Cossette, and we'll get a whistle for timeout to get substitutes in here. The only reason for the timeout, Alyssa Baranek coming in. Monica Stang into the lineup, and the big hand for Claire Stern is coming out. Ava Cossette. Sienna Mayer, number 25, also in. Mayer's got the basketball right now. And they get it in for Odie, and it's taken away instead by Kata Scott. Scott able to hand it off. Schmidt, drive to the basket and one. So Nora Schmidt, who was into the game late, gets a basket here in the section final and get a chance to make it a three-point play. And Jordan Orty comes out and gets a big round of applause from the Crimson fans. Emily Gornick, number 32 in. Free throw off and loose ball pulled in by Baranek. Drive, basket, and one at the other end. It's Mayer with the hoop.
Maple Grove's getting everybody in, and looks like Mounds View getting some more in too. But you know, you got to give Mounds View a lot of credit. They played very hard. They stayed with the physicality of the game. They just kept competing. Maple Grove just has a lot of weapons, and they flow, and their defense, like Coach said, their defense is nice, and he said it's just come on.
Three-point shot from Stang, not good. Get it back to her. She'll attack, short on the shot, and rebounded by the Mustangs. Liza Mushel with it, picks up the dribble and gets it off to Gim. Natalie Gim with it. They're back to Mushel now. And into the hands of Punsack. Elena Punsack hands it off. We get a tie up and a held ball. To Maple Grove basketball. Crimson and Ava Backberg into the lineup. Sophia Anderson in for the Crimson. Casey Schulte in. Who am I missing? Yeah, one more in with that whistle. Brent Verbow, number 5, in as well for Maple Grove. Schulte, and she'll get a chance to go to the free throw line, fouled by Gim.
All the girls are getting a chance, get their foot on the floor in the section championship game, and obviously advancing on to state tournament.
Oh, on the rim everywhere but in. For Mounds View, McKenna Call in. Replacing Gim. Second one's in. Another substitution for the Mustangs. Veronica Warren, Jr. into the lineup. Minute to play, the section championship game. And a steal for Maple Grove. It's Anderson. Taking it to the basket, a little too strong on the shot, and rebound taken down by Call. Nice step back. Shot is up and in for a three-pointer for Schmidt. Anderson to the basket, up with a little runner, not good. Rebound, a foul called on Maple Grove, and it'll be free throws the other way for Schmidt on the 1-and-1. First one up short. Rebound by Maple Grove by Schulte. Stang to the basket, up and in. Monica Stang, a sophomore, gets her first points tonight. Under 10 seconds to play in the section final. Mushel off to Punsack. Punsack with a shot, not good. The rebound, and there it is. Maple Grove to state for the first time since 2019.
Yeah, congratulations to Mark and the girls at Maple Grove. I mean, a very talented team. Wish them all the best as they move forward. And, congratulations to Mounds View, too. You came in, you played a tough battle. You played both your games to get here, double overtime and overtime. Hats off to them too, and coach and his team.
And there you see the line ahead for Maple Grove and what they have starting next week. A game for Claire Stern. And for Mounds View, Dave Bratland talked to us before the game about how much fun this group of girls has been to coach, regardless of their final win-loss record, which wasn't bad, 16-13 and getting to the section final here. Defensively, they just couldn't match up, especially there in the second half against Maple Grove, who really shot the lights out there after halftime, I thought.
Oh, I thought they did too. And like you said about Coach, and how fun they've had. They've just have trusted each other, had a great time, and we all talked that sometimes your success has really nothing to do with your win-loss record. And he said just how they've taken care of each other and trusted each other. And like you said, Maple Grove just turned it on, and they started hitting shots, and it's tough to battle against a team that's that deep and can do all the things they can do.
22 second-half points for Bria Stenstrom. She finishes with 27 in the game, the only player scoring in double figures for Mounds View. For Maple Grove, Jordan Odie with 22 points, 15 came in the second half. Claire Stern, 10 in each half with 20 points in the night. Ava Cossette with 13. Their top scorers all season. There's their top 3 scorers tonight. So, and that's kind of the ball game, right? You need your money players to step up in the money game, so to speak.
Exactly, and like you said, look at how many are scored over here in double figures, and they're fun to watch. Both teams are.
They put up 50 points in the second half.
Yeah, you just kind of go, wow.
Mounds View players will receive their medals and their runner-up trophy in a moment. And great moment for Maple Grove, certainly frustrated by Roseville the last couple of years in this gym. Roseville not in this section anymore. And very early on, it looked like, Maple Grove struggling a little bit, but it didn't take long. They got that scoring run to close the first half, where they finished on a 21-3 run to end it, and then we're up 15 at halftime and played well in the second half and expanded the lead to get the win.
I think what you saw in the first half with them when they were struggling a bit, it's that championship game jitters, even though they were deep, they were talented, they were the 1 seed. It still didn't matter. We're in the championship game, and we got to win this game. So there were some jitters, I think, in the beginning, and as they settled down, the flow worked for them.
Mounds View coming up a game short with a couple of exciting playoff wins they got to enjoy. They could have, been out in that first round a week ago. Instead, they prevail against Osseo and then go to overtime and beat Park Center on the Pirates' home floor last Friday to get to tonight, and did all they could, but just came up short against a better team.
You're right, and it was impressive when watching them play in that Park Center game. It was a back and forth game. They never gave up. They stuck to their game plan. They kept working together, and like you said, they had a tough battle to get here. And they did. You're running up against one of the top 5 teams in the state. That's pretty tough.
The seniors, we asked Coach Bratland, any of them going to play college basketball beyond Bria Stenstrom, said no, this is it for them.
Yeah. If
we don't win tonight. And that's always tough, right? When it's that last high school game, the finality of it hits.
It is. It's always tough to say goodbye to your seniors as a coach, but even as the teammates say goodbye, and some of them know this is it. This I'm done playing competitive ball, and I put how many years into it. And the friendships they developed, the relationships they built, those are the memories that are going to stay with them. And some of the things that Coach shared that the team has done throughout the year with fundraisers and things they're doing for families that are going through hardships, and how the kids just took so much ownership in that. And it's just this amazing group of young ladies that Mounds View has.
And you love that as a coach, right? When your girls are succeeding off the court, perhaps even more than they are on the court, and that says a lot.
You coach because you love the game, but I always coach because I hope we made a difference in the kids' lives. You gave them some opportunities so that when they went out away from high school, whatever they chose to do, they felt they could accomplish things. And like I said, you always want to win, but there's a whole lot more to journey and the story than just winning or losing.
And they finished the season 16-13, Section 5 for a runner-up. And now the Crimson will get their medals and trophy.
I know Coach Cook has waited for this. You know, he's been in that finals game the last couple of years, and it just, you know, hasn't come up the way they had hoped, and he's probably going finally, you know, finally.
Got everybody into the game tonight. If you're watching on this Thursday night live on CCX, by the way, we'll have Maple Grove boys basketball live for you on Friday night. They host Osseo in the Section 5 4A semifinal game. The winner of that goes to the section final a week from tonight at Rogers High School. So a lot of excitement in the 24-hour period for Maple Grove basketball. Maybe Cossette, I thought, really played a nice game tonight. 23. With defense by Alexi. I thought, again, we talked about it a couple of times tonight, just the team defense this team plays. It's not just one player, that all five, whoever around the court are able to play.
Well, you know, I always told my teams too, you know, you've got your kids that are getting most of the playing time, but your bench is so important and so valuable, whether they're on the floor, because they work every day at practice with you. They push you to become better, and when you can get a whole team working and buying into that system and understanding their roles, great things happen.
Teams for the tournament will all be decided by tomorrow night. And the coaches will seed on Saturday morning, and then we'll find out, Maple Grove will find out who they play. Games beginning at 10 a.m. Wednesday at Williams Arena for the Class 4A teams. Quarterfinal games at 10, noon, 2 and 4. Semifinals the next night, day off Friday. The championship on Saturday in 4A, the last game of the tournament. Activities Director Ricardo Jones handing off, and there's the section championship trophy to the Crimson.
Ladies and gentlemen, the Section 5 4A champions, Maple Grove Crimson.
Good team, Patty, going to state 24 and 4. They're going to be a tough out for somebody.
You know, I'm looking forward to the time they go back and you just seed 1 through 8. I think a lot of the coaches are in that, and because we've seen some different, like in some of these other matchups come up and how they've happened, like in hockey at times, and like even with the Maple Grove girls when they went in hockey. But, you know, you make one of those 8 teams, you're just excited to be there and you're coming to play hard.
We're going to take a timeout. We're going to hear from a couple of the Crimson players in just a moment. 80-48, Maple Grove on the state. We'll wrap things up from Anoka High School right after this. Welcome back to Anoka High School. It's championship night for the Maple Grove Crimson. The top seed goes on to the state tournament with an 80-48 win over Mounds View here in the section final. John Jacobson now joined by Ava Cossette and Jordan Odie. And Ava, first of all, congratulations to you as senior. What does this feel like for you?
This is awesome. I mean, this is what we've been working for. We've been here 2 times and fallen short, so this just feels amazing to finally grab it and be able to go to state.
Is it extra special for you because you missed most of last season with an injury? You come back full strength this year, and here you go to state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, it was a super tough journey, but with my teammates behind me and everything, I knew that we could all come back, come together, and really perform well. And yeah, here we are. So.
I know Coach talked to us before the game, and he said how well he thought you guys are playing defensively as a team, and I thought that showed up tonight, that you were able to shut Mounds View down.
Yeah, for sure. We definitely take pride on our defense and making sure that we were getting stops and getting boards. That was most important for us. So I think we executed, and yeah.
How much fun was that second half? You guys put up 50 points, threes were flying, you were getting baskets from all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, we work best when we share the ball, and you could definitely see that in the second half. That's where we shine. So it was really awesome to see.
I know you won't know for a few days who you play, but are you confident going into the state tournament no matter who you draw?
Yeah, definitely. I know we'll have a good game plan, so we're ready to go.
All right, congratulations. Enjoy this one. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Jordan Odie leads Maple Grove in scoring again tonight. And Jordan, a little bit slow start for a team offensively. What got it going for you?
I think honestly what Ava said, sharing the ball is really where we strive and where we shine, honestly. So especially in the second half, I thought we did a great job, and even at the end of the first half.
And you're able to hold Mounds View down. I think that you outscored them 21-3 to close that first half. I'm sure the size certainly helped, right? You were able to not give them a lot of great scoring opportunities.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it was our defense and our size on defense. I think our length really bothered them. And then offensively, we got in the post quite a bit, so that was great for us.
Stenstrom had a great game for them, though. She wouldn't slow down.
Yeah, I mean, she's a great player, super hard to guard. It was a great matchup, though, for me to challenge me, especially going into the state tournament, but props to her. She's a great player.
Ava talked about the frustration you've had in this gym here. And last year, I'm sure, was really a tough loss. How does it feel now to push through and on to state?
Feels amazing, to be honest with you. I think these past 2 years have just been learning opportunities for us, setting us up for this moment in state now. So we're ready and just trusting God's plan, honestly.
What do you feel like is the best part of your team's game as you head into the state tournament?
I think our ability to shoot makes us really dangerous, especially clearing out the lane, because all the defenders have to come out and guard us. So I think that would be our main threat, as well as our size across the board.
Big Four at Williams Arena. How much are you looking forward to playing there?
So excited, especially even that I'm going to play there in college. So it's just a big opportunity for us.
Congratulations again. Great win for your team, and good luck next week.
Thank you so much.
All right, Maple Grove Crimson on to the state tournament. 80-48 winners tonight, and now 24-4 in the season. They'll find out this Saturday who they will play in the state tournament. Special thanks again. CCX is out to the Maple Grove basketball boosters and allowing us to do tonight's game live, stream it to you live at home. And that will do it for our Topcast. For all of our crew and for Patty Sorensen, I'm John Jacobson on the state from Maple Grove. They win it as the Section 5 champions for 2024.